Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. We've got postseason tiebreakers, our prop bets, and some guys looking to dictate the rest of their season. Let's get it. Full house. Hello and welcome back to Talkin Baseball. Sent by SeatGeek, myself, James, Trevor, and BBD. We've got the front office. We've got the players. It's a big ol' ep as we've got 3.5 weeks left of regular season baseball. Crazy. Jimmer, Fredette, to my right. I'll kick off to you. How you doing, big dog?
24 days. I just Googled days until October 7th.
Wow.
24 days.
I nailed it.
You were pretty good. That's wild. It's coming up.
I'm going to start Googling days until. I like that.
It's my favorite feature, Trev. I use it all the time. I Google days until or days since. I do it for IL stuff all the time.
Can I just say something? My Alexa that I have, not smart enough for my house. I ask her questions and she just defers to like an internet article. I need you to actually like know yourself, Alexa. I don't need you to like send me to a webpage. I could do that.
Alexa, turn yourself off.
Basically, yeah.
Damn.
Alexa.
That's good that I know that because I kept thinking, do we have 3 weeks, 3.5? My brain didn't want to do the math. So I'm glad you guys just did it for me.
Give me a random date in the past.
Oh, okay.
What was like a big Homer day or something you had in Minnesota? A big Trevor Plouffe day.
I don't know.
Okay.
That'd be so weird.
June 15th, 1986.
Is that your birthday?
How many days has Trevor Plouffe been alive?
13,239 days.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Google's pretty cool.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. It's wild.
Well,
that's a feature I use surprisingly a lot. It's kind of Ask Jeeves-ish. You ask the full sentence. Anyway.
I got about 16,000 left. That's it.
Oh.
The sad part is
most of it.
A lot of these teams are dead in the water. 24 games left.
Trev, is that a shot at your Twins right off the rip?
Yeah, I think James declared them dead. He did, yeah.
Yeah.
The Cleveland.
This isn't that premature. I checked in on all the Twins like forums and fan places, and they're all saying the same thing. Like that sweep from the Guardians was tough. They don't have any of the tiebreakers, and they have 11 games left against the two teams that are above them. And they're under 500. So it's not like they're a good team that's getting snubbed. I think we're going to have one of those in the NL. And the AL, kind of if you're good, you're in. Besides the Orioles, but they had an awesome season. I'm not trying to knock them at all.
I think they're excited about the season they have. I mean, some of the guys that came up made an impact, and that's kind of what you wanted to see.
Orioles fans were excited to watch baseball every night.
Still are,
yeah. So, great season by them.
No, it's funny. There's been a lot of talk about time already this episode. And we've got a new friend of Talkin Baseball, Vincero. Look at my hair if you're trying to pronounce it. Vincero, huh? And Vincero.
One of those Vincero watches.
Hey, can I have one of the Vinceros? If you hear someone say that.
You can say it like that.
You might be in Houston, Texas for the World Series this year. Vincero, what you need to know, exceptionally crafted, stylish watches at affordable prices. Other premium handcrafted watches have insane markups. You can own a high quality and lasting timepiece without going broke. And the best part is listeners of this podcast are about to be hooked up and save a little more. Trev, you raised your hand quite early for this. Like really early.
I got a fancy party I'm going to on Friday, right?
Nice, dog.
I'm wearing this watch.
Yeah. It's Trevor.
Because it looks like it's thousands of dollars, but it's not.
Yeah, Trevor Plouffe wears this watch. So I was going to tell you about the 30,000 five-star reviews and Forbes, Business Insider, and Newsweek, but scratch it, reverse it. Trevor Plouffe will be wearing this watch at a swanky party.
Swanky, too.
And you could also be wearing one of these watches if you go to www.vincerocollective.com. VINCERO collective.com. And with code BASEBALL, you're getting 20% off and free shipping. So, get yourself a playoff watch. What time is it? Playoff time. Just tell your friends that.
Did you have that one in the chamber?
No, that happened live.
Oh, was just right there.
Live. That's
so it's not in their copy.
Yeah, no. For some reason, they didn't have you wearing it to a party or the playoff time in here. But we'll reach back out. So it's vincerocollective.com. Code BASEBALL. 20% off free shipping. How about it? And Trev, I think you're walking us through this first part because it's the most important probably part of the episode, because it's the first year that we've had some different postseason tiebreakers. We all remember in the couple past years we've had games 163. I think we had a game 164 for my Rockies one year. I think they went Dodgers and then Cubs, I believe, to get the season wrapped up via tiebreaker. Now we have some actual tiebreakers, and boys, it being halfway through September, it's time to actually sort through it. So what do you got, T-Pain?
Well, as we look along the postseason landscape, guys, there's a few races that are yet to be settled. A lot of the divisions are wrapped up right now. I don't know. How do you guys feel about the East, the Yankees? You guys feel like that's wrapped up? 5.5?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to start in the AL mid, you guys like to call it. And that's one of the closer races. Cleveland right now has a 3-game lead over the White Sox. Now, the season series right now is in Cleveland's favor. So if they do have that tiebreaker, essentially that 3-game lead becomes a 4-game lead because the White Sox will have to win the division outright to be able to claim to be champion. They do have games left, though. They have 4 games left, and the White Sox would need to win all 4 of them, or Cleveland, if you're on that side, just needs to win 1 of them to get the tiebreaker. So they play this Thursday. So I guess when this comes out, they play tomorrow. And then they have a 3-game set, September 20th, 21st, and the 22nd. And then it's set, man. And this no game 163 thing is kind of crazy to think about because now you're, for instance, this one's a good one because there's still games left. Okay. San Diego, on the other hand, they're vying for a wild card in the NL, and the Brewers are right behind them. Well, they have the tiebreaker over the Brewers. So now the Brewers essentially have to win more games than them, but they haven't played each other since June 5th. These teams are drastically different from where they're at on June 5th. Like, that's to me when the game 163 kind of comes in and kind of makes more sense.
Well, who's better right now? I understand that aspect of it, but there's 3-game wild cards now. You can't be adding more games and more travel and all that. And if you're taking away the wild card,
why not though? Because I know that we're on a time crunch here because of the season got started a little late. But next year when we have a full time, wouldn't they want to add a 163?
Yeah, but not the players. I mean, if this is the MLBPA talking, they're not adding that because there's more travel, there's more games, there's more everything, and MLB's just greedy and wants more games. I'm sure MLB would love 163s.
I think if they're fairly compensated, I think the players. I understand the logistics of it are tough, but it makes more sense to me than this tiebreaker because there's more scenarios that we have to go over. But
I like the tiebreaker for the divisions a lot because you're going to be in the maybe it's a 1-seed division. A 163 makes sense, but I like it for the divisions. With the wild cards, it does get funky because you're only playing that team 6 times, and they could have been so long ago. That's why way back in July, when I was starting to talk about the importance of this with the Phillies, and it's still prevalent right now. The Phillies are a lock, basically, because they have all the tiebreakers against the teams they're competing with. But I don't know how you do it because you're not going to do a 1-game play-in for a wild. We saw that when it was a 1-game wild card, and it was kind of just like, wow, this is a waste of time.
I think any of those like single elimination games, I guess it's for seeding it'll be, so that's different. It's not like sending somebody home necessarily. I guess it could be.
Yeah, I guess
like
that's where my brain's spinning right now. And yeah, this year it's really tough to know what you do with it because, you know, Yankees, Astros. I mean, Astros have like 5 games on them anyway and the tiebreaker. So, you know, as we rule out someone catching the Yanks or even the Twins really be involved, it's really the same thing. So it's not really a situation. This year was so messed up. The Yankees played the Astros a doubleheader after the All-Star break, a 1-day doubleheader. That was all they played. And then they had one more random game where they played them in Houston. So this year was bizarre, and there was some of that. And I guess, and it's kind of what you guys are dancing around. For the divisions, it makes a lot of sense. Like, you're playing each other, 19 times? And, you know, if those games should matter, and they should, you know, if you got beat 10, if you won 10 games, or if you won even more than that, then yeah, like there's nothing the other team can really say. I guess for a wild card, or maybe if it's a division, it just gets really tricky because that 163 could still be badass, right? But if you're a wild card, now it's becoming a double wild card. I guess if it was the AL Central this year, and for them it was win and in, and then you're hosting home field, but then it's back to the division. So I don't know. Maybe they have it, and I don't know. I think divisions are going to change a lot in a couple years, so I think it's just going to get funkier.
Yeah, is this even what they're going to have next year with the balanced schedule and all that?
I'm curious to see, but if you think about it, like a 163, you waste a pitcher there, and then you got a 3-game set, then you waste pitchers there.
I know this is counterintuitive. Oh, maybe this doesn't make sense. Because right now it's head-to-head, then interdivision. For the division, I wouldn't be upset if they did interdivision first, but I guess you play a lot. Like, what if they did for the NL or for the wild card? They did. I was going to say, like, you know, versus the NL instead of versus each other, since there's only 6 games. They're not in the same division. I don't know. I don't really have a problem with it that much. I think it puts more emphasis on games against other good teams earlier in the season. I think beating those teams is always good. I understand your point that it could be a completely different squad than the March
before the trade deadline. These things are happening,
but those wins and losses count towards the record, which is the main determining factor. So I like it. I think it adds an element. It changes the Brewers and the Phillies so much because the Phillies, every lead they have, add a game to it because they have the tiebreakers. Yeah. The Brewers, every lead they're chasing, add one to it because they don't have the tiebreakers.
Another one we have to look at, Atlanta right now, behind the Mets, 1.5 games. They need to sweep 3 games for the Mets, or the Mets have it. They play 3 more times at the end of the year, September 30th through October 2nd. So, I mean, those are crazy games. I mean, obviously Atlanta could get ahead of them in the standings and none of this matters at all. And then those games are just like regular games. But like if it comes down to it and Atlanta sweeps those games, gets it down to even, and they play the last series even, then all of a sudden Atlanta is the champion. It's crazy, man. There's a lot of scenarios out there right now that this one won't even be settled until 3 days before the end of the season.
I don't like that the third seed, it goes automatic to a division winner.
I like that. I like the importance of a division. I understand.
Like the AL Central's making me hate that.
If you want it completely balanced, yeah.
And Jake, we had it wrong on Talkin Yanks earlier today. The Yankees play the winner of the Guardians or the Central versus whoever is the 6th seed.
Oh, because you'd assume.
No. Whoever has the highest record will play the Guardians or the 6th seed. So the Astros right now, right?
Nope.
No, because it would be the highest seeds that could win both.
Astros will get the 4-5. And the Yankees will get the winner of the 3-6.
Because you assume the 3 advance.
Because that was my point.
So it was 3.
Way back when I was saying I think I want the 2 seed more because you get potentially the Central, And if the Twins were there as a Yankees fan, I was like, give me that potential.
No, that's not what all the graphics have.
Ooh, live time finding out.
The 2 plays the 3 and the 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's huge.
Because
for
1,
the
4,
Yankees.
2,
Yeah,
3.
yeah.
Yankees just went to the World
spin
Series.
zone.
Well, that's what I said. Wait, I think I was talking to Rosie or someone. I was like, I kind of want the Yankees to get the 2 seed. They get the Central.
Well, right
If
now it's
they
Tampa.
win. If they advance.
Those are
Tampa
the teams Jake
versus
and I
Cleveland.
kind of want more than Toronto or plus
Rather
Toronto,
get one.
Seattle, 3 games. That's awesome baseball. That is so atmospheric and fun. Give me those 2 teams matching up.
And right now they're neck and neck. And so Seattle has a tiebreaker over the Blue Jays.
Now that's one that could
And
really
they're completely
matter.
tied right now. 79 and 61, 79 and 61.
Yeah, the travel and the home field advantage
Whew.
is big in Seattle's. What's Seattle,
talked-
Tampa Bay? Seattle has it
Well,
third, right?
Rays have the tiebreaker over Seattle, and they still have more games left against the Blue Jays. A bunch of them are actually playing right now, I believe. Yeah, they are because they almost fought last night. So that one's still out there, but the Rays
Blue
have the
Jays
tiebreaker
almost
over
fought a
Seattle.
team.
Bench is cleared. Blue Jays versus the Rays, and then Cash and Schneider
I
were
am
like,
shocked.
and then the pitching coaches. I mean, they were yelling at each other a lot.
Yeah. Blue Jays have cleared now with the Yankees, with the Orioles,
Well, the Rays hit
with
Bichette in the head.
Rays.
So
Fair. I'm just saying they are a feisty bunch, the Blue Jays.
They bicker.
we went into it a little bit on Baseball Today about home field advantage. We think Seattle having it would be great, but we think there'll be a lot of Canadians coming down for that series. It's pretty
Ooh.
close to the Western Canada there.
those
So maybe we'll see a
Vancouvers.
horde of, Blue Jays fans in Seattle. I think we might. It'd be really
Right.
cool.
Trevor, did you not watch Russell Wilson return and get booed by
I
the
did.
12th man? And you think some people from Vancouver are going to take over
No, I didn't say that.
formerly Safeco Field?
I didn't say take over. I said they'll be there for sure.
They'll be
It's
outside
fun,
the
man.
building. We're not letting them in.
Don't talk about Russell. He did everything he could, man.
Yeah, the coach didn't. Yeah, I mean, that would feel very poetic in this current AL wildcard race where the Jays, Seattle, and the Rays are all neck and neck. I mean, I guess if the Rays end up with the Blue Jays, it's kind of null and void because, those teams play each other a lot and it is what it is. That's going to be their 20 and 21st games against each other. Like, kind of doesn't matter where you're playing at that point. Although the Rogers Center gets pretty turned. Respect that. If you got to go to Seattle, like, I can't imagine these Blue Jays, and Jim mentioned it, and go check out some of the breakdowns. That Oriole one's fun.
Not fun.
If those Blue Jays, who their manager got fired this year, and the Blue Jays kind of said, yeah, we might have needed something. Okay. Well, guess what? If you end up with the same record as the Mariners and you've got to fly one of the longest MLB flights and then play in front of a crowd who's having their first playoff game in 2+ decades, I don't know, man. You might have just shot yourself in the foot.
In a clapping convention town.
Right.
It's going to be loud there.
Let Russ cook. So, yeah, man, if I'm the Blue Jays, those teams better be sprinting to the finish line.
And where we're at in the National League, I mean, a lot of the wild card is unsettled. We talked about Philly having the leg up because of the tiebreaker. San Diego has it over Milwaukee. We talked about that. So Milwaukee's really chasing it here. The AL tiebreaker is, I think we'll really have to revisit that because the AL wild card tiebreaker, we'll have to revisit that because there's so many teams just bunched up right there. I feel really bad for like the traveling secretaries. Like they don't know where they're going to go until the end of the year. Like you're like, I don't fucking know.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So like your family and stuff, you're trying to get people out to the postseason. You have no idea where you're going to go. It's a good problem to have, but that one's close. I mean, Seattle, Toronto, and Tampa Bay, half game apart.
They're all in it, barring something crazy.
Who would you rather play, Trev? We did a little bit of this on Talkin' Yanks today.
Of those 3 teams?
Yep.
Easiest team?
Not necessarily, I guess.
Not easiest, but like team that I think Tampa.
Mostly for the atmosphere that the other 2 will be bringing in away games and just like energy. And Tampa's got a lot of injuries and their offense isn't.
I think with some good pitching performances, you can beat Tampa.
Yeah, you got to squeak runs. You know, they're a team that I think, and we've seen it, the Judge beat single-handedly a couple times, as long as the pitchers do their job.
Yeah, the pitchers have to pitch, obviously. But I mean, dude, these playoffs this year are going to be awesome.
I'm excited.
It's about 3.5 weeks away. And we'll probably be placing some bets on those games at the DraftKings Sportsbook, and we're about to check in on our prop bets we made to start this year. At DraftKings, the official sports betting partner of the NFL, you can also bet $5 on any NFL game and win $200 in free bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOHNBOY to get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet on any football game. That's code JOHNBOY only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Very happy with my Judge who hit the most home runs in the league bet that I put in February. And I think I'm happy with a lot of my prop bets that we did back in February as well. I got to fully check. You guys talked a little bit about yours the other day.
Yeah, we ended up the episode kind of landing around there, and some names. Trev's been on, Eugenio Suarez all year.
Everybody tweets at me every single time he hits a homer, and he's hit a lot of them.
He's been hitting a lot of homers recently, which has been fun. So, yeah, I know, a lot of people probably listened at the start of the year. If you didn't, it's become an annual prop bet episode, and it's fun to find out some of the weird player ones, and there's usually a couple teams ones, and then we usually throw our lock of the day of the year.
And you got your lock last year.
I got
we all did.
I think we all got our lock.
You got your sprinkle.
I got my sprinkle. Corbin Burns to win the Cy Young. We do a couple bets we like. We do a sprinkle, deep cut, and then we do a lock. And so we figured with 3 weeks, we check in to see if there's any players we need to root for.
Yeah,
maybe against. I don't know.
Trev, you want to go first? You're at the top of the sheet here.
Top sheet, Trev.
I didn't see the sheet. Send me the sheet.
It's a Google Doc called Talkin' Baseball Prop Bets.
Okay, I couldn't find it yesterday.
Doc,
We're
not a
cut
sheet.
This out.
Doc, not a sheet. You have Carlos Correa over 25 and
he
a
has
half
to get hot.
home runs. How are you looking?
He has 19 or 20 right now. I know that.
So Trev's bets, we did, again, just a brief scan. He was tight. A lot of his are tight. Correa was hurt. I think he's got a chance, Trevor.
He's been hitting home runs lately.
He has 19.
I'm putting yours in yellow.
That one is he's got to get hot.
Okay.
And then the Luis Robert over 28.5 is not going to happen. Obviously, he is.
Damn.
You're out on that one. It's red. I'm
that
putting that one in
tough.
red.
He's got
man.
12. After that, Matt Olson. This is my fun one I have written down. It's Matt Olson over Freddie Freeman home runs. And I believe I have that one.
So Freddie's at 19, Olson's at 28. So you're looking safe there.
Nice job. I'm gonna put that
Twins
in,
more.
Put that in green.
Yeah.
Put in a
That's
light
green.
green just in case.
Yeah, it's not lock.
No, that's locked, guys. Twins more wins than the Guardians minus 4.5. Seems silly now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that in
seems
like
silly.
A reddish yellow.
Maybe
almost.
put it
Put
in
that one in
white
blood
so you
red.
can't see it.
Orange. I mean,
Golly, Twins.
I think you've lost that one.
This is a good one for me right here.
Yeah.
So Julio Urias Cy Young was my sprinkle at plus 3,500. Okay, right now he's third in the Cy Young odds. Sandy Alcantara minus 175, and then him and Max Fried are tied. I guess so he's second at minus 650. But he's trending up. The last couple weeks of the season, if Sandy gets banged around a little bit, I mean Urias, I believe right now leads the NL in ERA.
Yeah.
And wins.
Yeah.
Those are
ESPN's Cy Young predictor website has Sandy as the 6th. I don't know why. I don't
He's been
trust
struggling as of late. A little. I mean,
Is it an old article or something?
No, it's like updated.
Because Vegas, he's still minus 175, like Trev was saying. But yeah, Fried and Urias. That's Sandy.
I like that one.
They have Fried as 8th, so maybe we don't trust this ESPN website.
We'll come back to that. Sandy in his last 4 starts, 23.2 innings, a 6.08 ERA. He's been getting hit.
What's Gonsolin? Is he going to split the vote with Urias? I know he just went on the IL.
That hurts his chances there. The wins were a big factor. He had some whip stuff. I think he was leading in whip as well. Some of the peripherals didn't love his
so
numbers.
You like your odds on the sprinkle.
Urias has 30-plus innings on Gonsolin. Gonsolin, 23 starts. Urias, 27.
Still tough.
And he's
to think you're going to get it, I guess.
A lot more strikeouts. It would...
For a sprinkle.
Alcantara would have to fall off, and then you're right in the mix. And
Okay.
Burns was kind of a coin flip by the end of last year, so you have hope.
You put that one in yellow. I like that, James. My lock. This is the one I get the most flack for.
Yeah.
Don't do red.
I didn't do red. I was just saying it was
wasn't.
nice. Nice
We
of me.
knew it was yellow the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, Suarez might be in red, man.
No. I still believe that's a lock. He's been too hot for too long. There's going to be a little cold streak here. 98.5 RBI. I believe he has. Let me get it up, people.
82.
82.
At the time of recording.
That's still, he's got to get 6. He's got to get 17 in the last 3.5 weeks. I mean, it's possible.
It's tight.
I still like that one. A lot.
He's got to have like 2 big boy nights.
Yeah, and he's been doing it. That's the thing. He's been hitting the 3-run homers, 2-homer games.
Yeah.
Shit
How
like
many
that,
more? How many more played?
Six
How
in his
many
last
more?
4 games.
How many more plate appearances do you think he's going to have? I mean, we got
24 days, probably 23 games, 22 games. You can say he's got 80.
80 more plate appearances. Well,
What's he averaging? Are you doing math?
he's
right now?
averaging an
This is-
RBI every 7 plate appearances. That would give him 11 more. What does that put him at? 94.
Yeah, we're good then.
Some.
You
We're
need
good then.
16.
It's going to be close. I'm not going to put it in red.
can't-
You're right. I'm going
I
to put
can't
this
believe.
in the same
it's
yellow
close.
as Urias.
Okay.
So, but you only have 1 green, Trev.
Yeah,
Put
it
it
looks
a
really
little
bad. But my
closer to
remove
green.
lock, I feel like I
Should
should get credit
happen.
for because that one is a lock.
No, but you removed
You
it.
removed the lock, and that was
But it's still
Astros
a
winning the
lock.
West. Yeah, it was a lock.
Whatever.
I think it was like not. It was
The only reason I didn't do it was because it was minus 175 and we needed something
It
with
was the
less
return.
juice on it.
Yeah. Yes, I remember that. All right. So, I
It's
mean,
not a great showing.
It's
Not
not a
great.
great showing.
Not
Trev.
great.
Not great.
Not great.
All right. Here's a great showing.
Wow.
I had Harper under 97.5 RBIs. Got injured. I think that's a lock.
That looks good.
Not the way you wanted to get
How
there.
is that a better bet than Eugenio Suarez? I mean, he just got hurt. That's the only thing.
That's the thing.
Marcus
That's
Semien under 32.5. I also think that's a lock.
It's looking good.
He didn't
I
have a
think he
homer
just
for
hit
a
his
long.
21st.
Yeah, he would have to like really have a great 3 weeks. I mean,
You can lock it up. Give it green.
Juan Soto more home runs than Acuna. That's a lock. I think that's 21-10 right now. Something like that.
Soto has 24. Acuna has 11 at the time of recording.
I think that's locked. My sprinkle plus 3,000. Mariners' longest winning streak. I don't know how this works. They are currently tied for the longest winning streak. So I don't know if I get that or not.
Really?
Push, baby. I think it's a push.
It's a push. I don't know.
know how long his win streak works.
I mean, I definitely didn't lose it. Unless maybe I did. But the Braves and the Mariners are tied for MLB's longest winning streak, 14 apiece. I chose the Mariners to have it. I have no idea how they...
Yeah.
They don't not have it.
I don't know how they do that, but I mean, I should get some credit.
Yeah.
I'm clapping for
Wow,
you.
yours is really good.
I'll do that in like the lightest green. And I'll change these to a little, just for our sake.
Those are little.
And then my lock was the Astros more wins than the Yankees. I think that's a lock as well.
I mean, that's how you do it, people.
Wow. That's very impressive, James.
Thank you.
Trev, I think you might end up looking bad in this segment. I don't know if you knew that coming in.
All right.
Because I had the St. Louis Cardinals to make the playoffs, which was oddly even money. I placed that one. I think you heard me do it live in our PPP.
Did I place that with you?
They're a good franchise. I think so. I think that was like we're placing that bet. Cardinals to make the playoffs. I did IKF under $1.67 hits. He is going to land well short of that. He currently has 115.
What are you talking about? That guy's great.
Hey, if he gets hot, if he gets like 3 hits a game the rest of the way, which I'm actually rooting for, so 2 for 2 there. Bobby Witt Jr. He has 20 home runs and he has 20 home runs. The over-under was 20.5. So I need one more Bobby Witt Jr. home run.
That'd be
The
brutal.
rest of the season. Could be a bad beat. We'll see. That's how gambling works. I did my sprinkle on the Buxton MVP, which obviously he has his injury risk. And
Sadly, that's a red. That's our second red.
Yeah, but it's, a sprinkle. I mean, we have to see how your sprinkle sorts out. It could end up being an orange.
The point of the sprinkle is it has a good chance.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, as like right now,
Right.
we only have 2 dead ones.
Oh, I mean, the Twins.
Sure.
The Twins one, -4.5 should be red.
Yeah, that's red.
They have
That's
to be.
you.
They have to be 4.5.
I did
better.
not take the 4.5
Yeah.
into account. Sorry.
And then my lock of the year of a lock, which again the numbers seem ridiculous and injury does tie in, but was Adam Duvall over under 110.5 RBI. Love me some Adam Duvall. He got injured, so he's coming in well below that. So if Bobby Witt has one more homer, all of my non-sprinkle bets will hit. So they say he knows ball. I don't know.
Well done. Well done, BBD. You had Pena as AL Rookie of the Year
As a sprinkle.
as a sprinkle, but that's
Looked good
probably
for a
going
while to start. Julio full took
Probably
over.
going to Julio.
That Julio guy.
And Juan Soto under
Yeah.
118.5 RBIs.
Yeah, he's at 52.
Jesus. Hey, I think the problem with your situation here, Trev, is that the easiest locks are unders because they just give ridiculous RBI totals and homer totals for
I
guys.
brought that to your guys' attention.
I know.
That's why you guys started doing that.
No,
I just
we
picked
were had
one
it-
guy out of this.
We had
out of
it.
this bucket.
We all had it separately, but you don't like taking unders because you're a player's guy. So you try to search for overs, and that's a harder game to play. It's respectful.
Well, yeah, one injury away. I had a couple guys. I mean, Correa dealt with some injuries. Louis
Correa's gonna
obviously
get
dealt with some
hot.
injuries.
Dude,
The Twins over Guardians, my
Correa
biggest
still has
is
a
my biggest
chance.
miss.
Correa's been mashing breaking balls in September, just to let you know. Don't throw him a curve.
Bobby Witt
If I
Jr.,
hit my
the only
sprinkle
over.
and my lock, I'll be happy.
Okay. You need Urias to shove, which you can.
Someone tell me the rules on ties in the. I just like it to be a
On that
push.
kind of bet.
A push.
I'm assuming it's a push.
Yeah.
I'd like to think worst case would be push.
right?
Yeah,
I'd
it
like
is.
to
I
think.
Yes.
The Mariners don't
sometimes with
not
those
have the
props.
longest winning streak.
I want if they had like longest solo winning streak, that would be a kind of a cop out. But I don't know. All of
Yeah.
these things are different. Well, me, Jimmy, and BBD did great. I think
Yeah.
everyone agrees.
It's cool. I mean, I still have the plaque that's the best prediction to ever be predicted. So
That's true.
Yeah, that is true.
I've seen
And
Yeah.
you also have Roman swipes. Roman swipes are convenient over-the-counter wipes that are clinically proven to help you last longer in bed. They're uniquely formulated to reduce overstimulation. Ooh, the stimulator simulator. Without eliminating sensation altogether. In 2019 study, they were proven to increase time to orgasm by 4x. Wow.
Whoa.
Holy smokes. Trev, here are the directions, just in case you need to relay this to anyone. I know you were running some errands today, so maybe next time you're out in the town, just pull someone aside and say, hey, remove the disposable swipe from its discrete pocket-sized pack. Wipe on the most sensitive parts of your penis and allow to dry for about 5 minutes. When used as directed, Roman swipes leave no scent or taste, so there's no transfer to your partner. That could be nice for whatever you're doing. And free 2-day shipping in an unmarked package. Try swipes today with their special offer for our listeners. 20% off your first order at getroman.com/talkin. That's GetRoman.com/Talkin for 20% off today. Trev, you are raising your hand again.
People got it easy nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, when you have problems like this, you need to solve them, and you have Roman just ready to step up and do it for you. Way back when,
You used to stick your
you
dick
just
in
had
a
to live
beehive.
with it.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you, Grandma.
Roman, jeez. Way to go, guys.
Just tug your pud 15 minutes before and hope it gets back.
What does 4X get you right now? 8, right?
4X. It'd be 4 times.
Gets me out of shape.
It's exhausting. You see that?
Oh, can I tell you something what Jake said about you, James?
What did he say?
What did I say?
We were talking about how he can't get in shape because it's off-brand for him.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, like, you guys can't be like all muscular. That doesn't make sense. And he said, oh, James might never lift a weight in his life ever again.
Yeah, I'll never lift a weight. I'll do push-ups or bands. I mean, I never feel dumber than when I lift weights. I just cannot put my brain to think this is worthwhile at all. I mean, we would do hockey practice in the gym, and I would just be like, Coach, this is fucking dumb. You make a game out of throwing a medicine ball, you can get me to do it. But just straight up lifting a weight up and down. I never felt like a dumber person in my life. I just can't. I'm not trying to rip on people because I wish I had it in me to
Not a weights
do
guy.
it. But no, I can't make sense of that. It's so boring.
You got to embrace that part of I don't want to call it the dumb part of you, but it's like that kind of Neanderthal deep down inside.
I don't have it. Everything needs to be practical or I need to make sense of it. And do I really care about my arm muscles? And I was like, no, I never once have.
Jake does. That's all you do. Biceps.
But I've been doing push-ups. I just go on the treadmill and then I just do 20 push-ups and that's all. And I don't know. That's all.
You're capable of
I want to get in
life.
shape. I've been actively trying to lose weight, but
you look great.
Lifting weights, no, I can't do it.
Trainer 2023?
I can't. I mean, we did.
Pilates, James? Oh my God.
No, they get too spiritual.
Dripping sex.
Speaking of dripping sex, it's something we stumbled into last year, maybe 2 years ago. It's something I love to think about. And it gets a little tricky because there's guys on every team with 3.5 weeks. You can change a chunk of your season. There's a lot of guys that can't. There's a lot of guys that, you know what? Aaron Judge is going to have a really good year. I thought about throwing him in here. And if he hits 62, that would be a changing season for him. But there's some guys, and you can let us know. Sound off in the comments as my guy Trev lets you know. There's some magic numbers in baseball that are kind of changing. It used to be 300. If you are a 300 hitter, you're a ball player. That's kind of gone. I think the new
there.
The new 300, I think, is kind of an 800 OPS. That's a measure that you had a really good year. No one can argue with you if you're an 800 OPS guy. Also, some of the ERAs. I still value ERA. I think a lot of people still value ERA with some of the advanced pitching staff.
I'm starting to not.
Jimmy's coming away from it.
After watching some of the defense this season
right?
that we've seen.
Fielding independent pitch.
Defense,
Zach
one
Wheeler.
bad start.
And I don't really like FIP. I'm starting to change my mind, which I was somewhat firm on earlier, but some of the scorekeepers are ruining it for me.
It's been a weird year on scorekeep.
Scorekeepers are now giving errors or hits based on exit velo or something, and it's just off.
Scorekeepers, beekeepers. Check out the Weekly Dumb this week. I've got a couple zoomed out guys, and then we'll zoom in a little further. I think one thing we should know, and the guy that ruined BBD's AL Rookie of the Year bet, and this is just something that I think if Judge wasn't being Judge and Pujols wasn't being Pujols would be talked about more. My main man, Julio Rodriguez, J-Rod, he's going for 30-30, boys, as a rookie, and he missed games. So I know the good people of Seattle know. I know you're not letting those Vancouver Cougars into your stadium during that Toronto series. But 30-30 is no joke. He's got 25 homers and he's got 24 stolen bases. And those all happened in 123 games because remember, he missed time from the hand thing. So 3.5 weeks, 5 home runs, a couple big days, and that's such a special season, especially from a rookie that, again, if the big fella wasn't doing his thing, I think we'd be talking about Julio even more than we already do.
I like Julio lots. 30-30 as a rookie is incredible. And I have to eat a little bit of crow because I believe I talked about the rookies in this class and I said there's some good ones. I said the one I think that I'm most sure about is Bobby Witt Jr. And someone asked me over Julio. I said, I think so. Julio is the real deal. Bobby Witt Jr. having a great year. Shoot, he's got 20 homers and 27 bags. A couple good runs away from being a 30-30 guy during the season. But Julio seems to be he's a star, man. He's a star. And he doesn't stop. Like, when he gets hot, it just keeps going and going and going. And he loves the moment. Can't wait to see him in the postseason, dude.
In the last 10 years, here are the guys to go 30-30. Jose Ramirez, Mookie Betts, Ronald Acuna Jr., Yelly in 2019. Yep. How about that? And Cedric Mullins landed right on the nose for 30-30 last year, which is, I always forget how cool that is for him. But yeah, I mean, when there's only 6 guys who have done that in baseball, 5 in the last decade, and you're a rookie and you're the new face of the franchise, love myself some Julio. So that's just something to watch on the outset. So I also wanted to look at some free agents because that changes a couple things. Not only does it change your season, it can change your bankroll. It can change whatever's in your basement. The first guy I want to go is Dansby. We've talked about Dansby a lot this year. He's had a great year. He had a really slow start just for the first couple weeks, but then he's gone. His OPS is at 781. The year before, he was 760. The year before that, he was 809. So he's smack dab in between his previous 2 seasons. And Dansby's already doing well. He's got 5 WAR. He plays really good defense. He's a shortstop hitting free agency at age 28. He's going to do well. If Dansby could crank for the last couple weeks and get to that 800 OPS, I think you might add a year to the contract, which is just crazy in the scope of baseball that the next 3.5 weeks can affect, another $20 million season for Dansby, especially in this Mets playoff race. I'm circling Dansby the rest of the way.
They will sign an extension day before the postseason.
You think so?
It's the Braves.
Okay.
They'll just go all up there, hypnotist, lock them up.
Mental coach.
Correa will be fucked.
Interesting. I'm curious about the whole Correa situation. He's a guy that has played himself back into hey, this guy's going to get a massive deal. I think no matter what
he'll get
coming
years,
off of this year,
but I don't think he's going to get the numbers.
He might not get the numbers, but opting back into that for another one, almost seemed like a possibility at some
What's
point,
year
but
2
now
at?
I don't think so.
What's year 2 at? 30 mil again with the Twins?
Yeah. I think it's the same, 31.5 or something like that. Then he has the option again to come out. If he just wants to keep platforming himself. If he had a really bad year this year, then he could do that. But I don't think he's
going to get a 10-year deal. I mean, he might get 8 years, but I don't think he's going to get 30 mil per year.
35.1 next year.
He might opt in, man.
It's interesting.
I think he's gotten hot enough where I don't know if he needs to.
But no one signed him long-term last year. And all the rumors we heard was no one likes the way his back looks. No one wants to give him long-term.
I wonder when that day is that he has to opt in. Because that puts a time limit on negotiations. And
yeah,
interesting. I think he's done enough where he'll probably just go and try to secure the biggest bag now. You don't want to keep going and delaying it another year.
You just want to get the rest of your career locked up.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. It's going to be higher than the rest of his Twins contract.
Can I give a guy?
Yeah, I wonder if he could if he chose to go to free agency, he could probably get 35-1 for 1 year from another team if he really wanted it, unless he doesn't get the offer he wants. I don't circle that Correa. Who do you have, Trev?
A guy we talk about all the time and wearing his colors right now. It's Christian Yelich.
Okay.
Now, for a couple different reasons. Right now, Milwaukee's on the outside looking in. They sit 2 games back of San Diego, but as we said, Padres got the tiebreaker on them. So they're actually 3 games back of the Padres. Yelly has been, I mean, I'm sure he'd say the same thing. Pretty mid this year. He's got a 2.6 WAR. He's got 755 OPS. Like, decent season. That's not a Yelly season. Not who he believes he could be. Not who most of us believe he can be. If he turns it on here, the end of the year, puts Milwaukee into the postseason. He really just needs to slug a little bit more. Like, give me some homers here at the end of the year, Yelly. Then, like you said, maybe you get to that elusive 8 number. Although he already has 500 at bat, so moving that up that much is probably not going to happen unless he goes off on a crazy tear. But I think if he has a pedestrian year for the rest of the way, Brewers don't make the playoffs, I believe Yelly starts to get viewed differently in the baseball scope. I think if he goes off and finishes the year very strong and gets them into the postseason, I think he retains his status as like big bad motherfucking Yelly. And that is on a 3-week schedule right now.
Maybe I can twist you a little bit because he had his first half, especially the first couple months, were slow. He had a 695 OPS. In the second half, he's been an 809 OPS guy, a 388 on base. So I wonder if I could maybe even tweak that to be like, if Yelly can come in next year saying I was a 400 on base guy for half the season, I know the pop isn't there, and I'd love for you to track, kind of watch some Yelly at bats, because you're right. I mean, the only thing that's missing is the pop, which is a big deal if you're Christian Yelich.
Yeah, extra base hits, homers, all of that stuff. But he could turn the narrative. And I think he wants to. I mean, obviously the main thing is getting to the playoffs, but I believe for them to get to the playoffs, he's got to go on a run like this. It can't be Adames and Tellez, bro. Like, we need Yelly in the middle of that lineup. Yeah. Like, banging Yelly. A guy that, his career OPS is 846 because he has a career 470 slug. He's slugging below 400 now on the year. So I think, like I said, man, okay, you got 23 games left. Give me like 7 homers. If he gets to 20 homers, 8 homers, that's a lot to ask. I'm sorry, but a big run like that can get your numbers looking good, get him into the postseason. I think, like I said, he retains his status in the big leagues. But if he doesn't, he's pedestrian. They don't make the playoffs. I think he might not get the respect necessarily that he's getting right now.
Send him a text.
I love you, Yelly.
Give him the Plouffe text.
He did just hit a fucking ball 499 feet. Let's go. Keep doing that, baby.
It's easy.
Very.
Just do that. Couple guys to round it out. 2 pitchers. One guy we love a lot. And these guys are having good seasons no matter what. You couldn't shake them if you wanted. One's got money implications. One's got pride implications. Carlos Rodon. We know he's going to go back to free agency this year. His ERA is sitting at 2.93. His ERA last year was 2.37, and he actually leads the NL in FIP if we're becoming slightly more FIP guys. But if Carlos Rodon, his last starts, he's been not as good as his expectations. 28 starts this year. One of the concerns with him is that his injury history and holding up through the year. He's going to be an interesting one to track. We saw Gabe get in a little spout with his relief pitcher last night. I don't know if we've got beat reporter Trevor Plouffe on that. That looked like a good time. But if I'm Carlos Rodon, I've put in the work to get myself here. I'm sitting at 2.93. I'd want to make sure. I'd love to have that ERA going into free agency with another 2 sitting in front of me.
The 2 means something. 2 means something like an 8 means something on the OPS side.
I'm saying.
Oh, 2 is actually higher than an 8.
Okay.
I think if you start your ERA with a 2, that's more like a 8.75 and above.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
And that's where I was going to throw our guy. This is part of the thing we
stumbled maybe a 900.
This is what we stumbled into yesterday. Yeah, I think that's a fair comparison. Tristan McKenzie, our dude, our guy.
Right there.
He's sitting there, an incredible season, and it won't go away. 26 starts, 27 games, a 3.05 ERA. Our guy Tristan, the man, king of cool, hung out with us at spring training for longer than we ever thought a baseball player would want to. 3.05 ERA. Give us some big starts down the stretch. You get that 2.99, that lives forever.
Can the Twins hit curveballs? He might have a game against them. He definitely has a game against them.
Right.
Well, they were his boogeyman. So he had some really bad starts against them. And then the last start against the Twins, he went 7 shutty, I believe. So he kind of bounced them.
Yeah.
But maybe he's figured something out. But yeah, he's right there, man. Yeah, the 2 at the ERA, that's like a 9 on the OPS.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one. And the only other name I had written down, which again, people, you can go so many different ways with this, whether it's people chasing 30 homers, whether it's chasing an OPS, whatever it is. I'm sure there's guys on your team that could flip or flop with 3 weeks either way. A guy that I've had circled for a little while now, and a team needs to lock him up as their thick daddy DH for the next 3 to 4 years. Jock Peterson. I know we don't think of him as thick daddy. He's been getting he's got a little meat on the bones now. He's been having an awesome year. He missed that period of time. 267, 348, and 870 OPS. His OPS a couple weeks ago was down in the 820s, which again, like we said, very good year. In August, he was down to 809 at one point, which you're starting to get near those 7s. He's back up to 870. If Jock can finish strong, I don't know if he could get to 9. He'd have to get really hot to wrap up the season. If he can even stay there, we need this guy to be a mainstay somewhere because he's a stud. He's fun. We saw it in the Braves playoff run last year, and he's back to doing what he does. He's absolutely mashing right-handed pitching again. To the tune of an 898 OPS against righties. So maybe let's get that OPS against righties over 9. So some team says Jock Peterson is going to be our DH/corner outfielder for 140 games next year.
Get it.
Here's something strange on Jock Peterson. I don't know if I'm reading this the right way. Okay, because I'm only a high school grad. People forget that. Versus lefties, Jock, 693 OPS. Okay?
Right.
But versus a left-handed starter, a 1.025 OPS.
So we fell into this rabbit hole, and it's very disappointing because I looked at those numbers a lot in the last 5 years. I was talking about baseball into a microphone.
Okay.
The way Baseball Reference does those, if
those are in a game.
Any at bat that was started by a lefty, but he could have hit the righty out of the bullpen later on, it would count.
Lefty started that game.
Lefty started that game. If the lefty only went 1 inning and then it was righties the rest of the way and he goes 4 for 4 off those righties, those count towards that stat line. So it's not really.
So play him against lefty starters. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't. Yeah. I mean, as long as he's going to get the reliever at the end, you'd have to really look deeper into what.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why
I was curious about that.
That's why on the split page, he's 70 plate appearance against left-handed starters, but only 53 against left-handed pitching.
Yes, I don't know why they do that.
It's a little silly.
Really.
He's so relieved that lefty starter gets out of the game. He's
Bam.
like Tater City.
I guess it
Tater
can,
City?
for some guys, it can dictate like what kind of lineup they were part of. I don't know.
I'd like the Triple Crown to be in play. So I'd like Bogarts and Arise to just get, like, the Yankees shouldn't pitch to Bogarts if they want to help Judge out. He should just go 0 for 0 with 4 walks both games coming up. Judge is 11. He's 12 points away from contending with Bogarts.
Slow him down.
He's at 307. Bogarts is at 319. Arise at 315. It's a pretty tough gap in 24 games. But it'd be so cool, man. Imagine it means Judge would win every slash line, batting average, on base, slugging, OPS, and runs scored, and runs batted in, and home runs.
And walks, by the way.
And walks.
And still finish second in the MVP. That's crazy. It's insane.
Your co-MVPs.
Oh, gosh. Jeets would not have that, bro. I'm still disappointed that the Yankees lost on Jeter Day. It doesn't seem right.
Well, yeah.
Was he a little salty?
No.
Or is he like really happy to be back? That's, I guess, the question that I had.
Oh, I think he was really happy to be back.
Okay.
That's my vibe with his daughters there and all that.
Is he going to be like back in like the Oregon
No, he'll just attend
fashion?
events again. Like he hadn't attended an event, and it was kind of odd, but it made sense. He's like, I got 3 kids, like,
Yeah. Just running the Marlins.
and I had a job that I was
Yeah, I
working
had a
like
job.
60 hours a week. Like it was hard to just come up for an event. Like I wanted to be there, but
Are you enjoying his content, Trev? Right back at you.
what content?
His videos.
He's doing a lot of interviews. He's going. I told you, man. Like he's more
Social media
intense
guy.
than I gave him credit for. Like he's very intense, dude.
Well, yeah, that's why I always say he's of that same intensity of other great players. But if you dare say those names in the same sentence, people will get very upset with you. He created enemies. He was very much of that ilk on the field.
I told Jake he's attacking the questions. He's like, it's not answering the questions. He's like, he wants to beat you.
Oh, dude, he's
at the
such a
interview.
good listen. I mean, I grew up listening to every single post game. You could put a montage and I would watch it. I love watching Jeter answer questions. And it's not fake either. Like Judge is very fake. Judge is very Judge is doing a Yankee interview. You can tell, like, I can tell by watching 6 years of Judge, I have no idea what Aaron Judge is like as a person. I think if we met him like at a party, I would be like, oh shit, dude, you're a jerk. Or oh shit, you're really funny. Like, I just don't know. He's very much putting up a facade of boring.
Yeah.
And Jeter,
Well, I think like
Jeter got told
Jeter was the blueprint.
Yeah, but Jeter wasn't actually boring when you really listened and like the crew asked him like questions. He would fight back. He would get mad if they mentioned like that's 4 games in a row with a hit. He would like get mad at that reporter. You knew how feisty and competitive he was.
Trev said it right. He said Jeter tries to win the interview.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm reading this. I read the Jeter books to my son. Like, he has like kids books, and like even those are like, I'm like, geez, bro, like relax, little child Jeter in the book.
And isn't Teddy all like Jeter had no range? And it's like, shut up, Teddy.
Jeter
Made all
is.
the
I mean,
routine
Teddy
plays,
is of the same ilk. He doesn't. I mean, he is crazy competitive. We talked about this.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk more on Friday.
He looks weird in that picture you just sent us. Yeah, we'll talk more Friday.
Am I out of this group chat? Put me in the group chat.
Jake just tagged me or us?
Well, you say it this time, James.
I tagged
Sick of
Trevor on
saying
Twitter.
Swanky party. Freak show.
Insanity.
I don't.